Welcome back to my YouTube. It's been a bit of a hiatus for me. I was focused on writing and editing and finishing my book while also getting ready for other big things that are planned, but I'm back with a video and I'm inspired. The reason why I'm doing this particular video is because I actually had an issue with it recently. So I'm going to teach you as a 5-time author how to establish continuity in your stories. Let's go with it. So, what is continuity? Continuity is when you have characters and locations that have been set from the very start and you want to establish that over a large timeline. Now, I'm going to give you the sole reason what was the inspiration for this video. I'm going to also reveal something really cool. I am doing an audiobook for my original book, John Drake, and the audiobook is going to come out on November 1st, 2025, which is also 5 years to the day that I released John Drake. 1 month later, I'm releasing the sequel, Escobar Strikes Back. Now, the reason why this video exists and the reason why I'm talking about continuity is because I almost made a continuity error. Now, I was writing Escobar Strikes Back and I wrote a scene where my main character, Jessica, does not remember another character named Ivy. She does not remember her from her past. But while my voiceover artist was recording John Drake, I realized that Jessica had in fact known her. In fact, she knew her quite well. And because of that, I had to go scamper and fix that little mistake before I sent it to my editor. She's going to edit the book next month. And I'm so glad I caught the continuity issue. But continuity is important. You have to always establish what it is, where your characters are going, where your locations are. If you have a character that says they know somebody, then you have to keep that continuity in the next book and so forth. You can't just skip that out, or else your readers will think that you lose credibility as a writer. Now, speaking of characters, your characters have to be consistent in their quirks, in their hatred of other characters, in the places they've been, the things they've said. Now, I have consistency with all of my characters, especially now that I'm triple checking all my work. I'm always triple checking all my work. But in the case of John Drake, he is a high functioning alcoholic. Now, in the case of Jessica Hudson, who is the character I was mentioning earlier, she is a former crack addict. So, when establishing consistency for a character like that, if you have a recovering addict in your story, you cannot have any alcohol, you cannot have any drugs or any of that nature in their house, in their fridge, anything. A character that is recovering from a drug addiction cannot have anything that might tempt them to go back on the sauce. Now, if you also have other little intricities, like a character loves chicken wings or a character loves anything else, then you also have to maintain that throughout. If you have a character establish a set of guidelines, you have to follow that to the letter. That way in future books, you can keep going with that consistency. Locations. Okay, so if you have a location in your story, like I do, I've actually created one fictional town and I've actually set around the precedent for where it is. But in my books, mainly they're all real towns, real cities, Orange County, California, and all the cities around. But I did create a city in the first book called Orange Grove, California. Now, I've established that the fictional city of Orange Grove, California is where half of Costa Mesa, California currently is in my universe, and part of Newport Beach and part of Irvine. So it's all in that little junction. I've actually created my own city in my universe. Now, because I created the city in the first book and I'm mixing it with real cities, I'm keeping the consistency of the locations. That way my readers will say, where did Orange Grove go? We read that in the first book. Another thing I like to do is keep the consistency of the bars. Now, I have a bar that appears in 4 of my books, the Orange Grove Bar and Grill, that is run by a character named BJ Hunter. It's established that he's the owner in the Twisted Society, and he appears in other books as the owner, including Escobar Strikes Back. So establishing that consistency is just as important for locations as they are for characters. That way your reader can say, oh, I know that place. And it makes them happy that they're reading something because they have the knowledge of where the location was. Critical details. Now, critical details are extremely important. I was mentioning the detail about Jessica not knowing Ivy and how she actually did know Ivy, and I'm so glad I caught that. Another critical detail is remembering relationships. Now, in one of my books, I have established a brother-sister relationship based off a shared parent. I have to remember that they have that relationship. So what I like to do is create a little guideline. I call it the Hayek verse, where it creates all the names, all the relationships, and because of that, it helps me understand who's related to who and what character appears and where. Now, I have a set of characters that appear as jurors in the Twisted Society, my second book. In the upcoming sequel, The Vindictive Society, I'm going to have them appear at a tennis match. All the jurors, I know, it's coincidental, that's how storytelling is, and they're going to interact with the main character who just happened to be the defense of attorney in that trial. So little quirks like that, remembering the jurors, it's stuff that the readers like, but as long as you're keeping the consistency, your readers will love it. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Sometimes I go on hiatus. I'm just trying to analyze what works, but I'm looking to try and do more videos. I've said that before, but I really want to get more people interested in my books, interested in reading, interested in writing. I'm also going to be releasing a book trailer very soon, so keep an eye on that, and have a great day. If you like my content, remember to like, share, and subscribe right down there. There's going to be more videos, and I have to go. Talk to you later. Bye.